What's up, closers? It's Greg Gomez III, founder, CEO, FastStartMarketer.com. There's an old saying that says, A, always, B, B, C, closing. Always be closing. Always be closing. This is from a famous movie. If you don't know it, Google it. My Young Crunk. If you're easily offended by colorful language, you probably shouldn't watch this. But that's one of the first very motivational sales movies I'd ever seen about sales after I was in sales. And it really resonated with me because my big takeaway from that was that selling, closing is really about an attitude. Now, one of the big lessons I took away from that movie was that coveted line, A, always, B, B, C, closing. Always be closing, always be closing. And as a result of that, I always thought, as a salesperson, need to be closing them. Go get your credit card. Let's go get this done. You know, hey, I had bacon and eggs for breakfast this morning. Let's make this happen. Go get your credit card. Let's do this. And that's a big misconception. You see, there is such a thing. I want you to write this down. I want you to type it in here for me so that everybody can see that it's done. Is that there is a thing called premature solicitation. All right? I am all for closing. I am all for closing, and I think it's one of the most important things in the space of sales. What winds up happening is you wind up shooting the sale too soon. You can actually ask prematurely. And as we all know, people don't like when you premature solicit. So please, you want to make sure that you're soliciting at the right times. But how do I do that, Mr. Greg? It's a very good question. I'm glad that you asked. The way that we do that is by ensuring that we're closing for the right activities. Listen, you should be closing. And what I learned later in my career is that you're not necessarily closing for the money. You want to make sure you're closing for the right objective. So what does that look like? Well, there's 5 stages in a sales process. Stage 1 is the prospecting, the discovery phase. In the discovery phase, our main focus is to figure out, do I have my prospect's attention? Are they curious enough to learn more? So we get their attention. Say, hey, Teresa, this is Greg. I'm calling about your credit card account, or I'm calling about your home business. Something that will allow me in the ocean of sales to be able to connect to some common piece of information that they have that they're going to have affinity with, and they're going to recognize and say, yes, that is my situation. I will give you more permission to talk to me. I will let your boat float here a while before I chase you off my island. Does that make sense? I call it an anchor. So we're looking for an anchor statement, which is something that they're going to be able to say yes to. That is my situation. So in this case, I'm talking about Teresa. Hey, Teresa, I'm giving you a call today because I saw that you're in some type of financial services business. Is that correct? You help people to be able to build wealth in your business as a result of your business. Is that right? And then T says, yes, it is. Actually, yes, it is. So even though she doesn't know me, I know something about her, which makes her curious and interested to hear more about what it is I'm saying, right? So that's the introduction. That's the attention. I've got your attention and your curiosity. The reason for my call now, I go into my benefits statement, which is we specialize in helping folks like yourself learn how to get better quality leads, already interested in what it is you're doing before you pick up the phone to talk to them. In fact, we have a list of about 20 to 30,000 people right now interested in what it is you're doing. Would that help you? Now, Teresa's ears are going to say, okay, tell me a little bit more. Or she'll be skeptical and say, okay, well, what's the catch? Yeah, no catches, but you do have to qualify. That's why I was giving you a call. It's exactly why I was giving you a call. Now, I'm closing for each piece. Do you understand this? I am closing for the next part. I cannot close to the next step. I can't go say, go get your credit card because you're somewhat interested. I can't do that yet. That's premature. What I can do is say, there is no catch. However, you do need to qualify. So now I'm literally saying, no, you don't get these leads. Not yet. These are the Glengarry leads. You don't get these leads because to give them to you would be throwing them away. But it's a push away. Velvet rope technique. You have to appease and be qualified in order to get this information. Does this make sense? So that's why I'm giving you a call. It's exactly why we're having this conversation here today. So that would help you. Is that correct? Great. Grab a pen and a piece of paper. I'm going to get you all the details. Gap, right? Grab a pen. This is called the discovery phase. This is the prospecting side. From prospecting, they go to a presentation. That's step 2. Step 3, then, you're going to follow up. You're going to answer questions. You're going to do some Q&A. I'm sure you had tons of questions. So how did you enjoy it? Great. Awesome. I'm sure you have tons of questions. What can I answer for you first? That's my closing script. Hey, awesome. You had a chance to watch the material? Fantastic. It's done a really good job for me. Listen, that's enough about me after about a minute of me describing what benefits I've gotten from it. I'm sure you've got tons of questions. Teresa, what can I answer for you first? They got questions, they're interested. They don't got questions, you need to get them interested because maybe they don't believe. Like, wow, it was that bad, huh? No, it's just that blah, 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 blah. Okay, great. So that's Q&A. Then it's objection handling. Now I'm going to go for the close. So the close is the 5th one, right? So prospecting, presenting, Q&A, objection handling, and closing. Now, you don't get objections until you go for the close. Go give me money. Now we start to close for that. It's a soft close. So great. I think this would be a great fit for you. You should get this done. Are you ready to get started? Well, I do. Yeah, I need some time to think about it. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then you go through the objection handling process. I have an 8-step objection handling process that helps people identify, isolate, and overcome any obstacle that you're going to run into from a prospect. And then the close is very simple. Closing is about managing expectations. Okay? So those are the 5 steps: prospecting, presenting, Q&A, objection handling, closing. You with me? You get the picture? You see it now? You understand? You with me? Now the challenge here, and why I go back to always be closing. Always be closing. You see, the challenge here is people are trying to jump from step 1 to the itty bitty pink over here trying to get that money. And then they say, I am nowhere near prepared, framed, or positioned intelligently or educated about your product or service. I don't fully see the value, the benefits. I don't see the value proposition. I don't understand why giving you this money is going to exponentially be more valuable than holding on to it, right? I should be practically willing to throw my money at you because there's so much more value in exchange. I, as the consumer, am getting a tremendous deal. Like, I almost feel guilty giving just you so little money, the stack of $10,000 or whatever it is, because the value that I'm getting in return is so much bigger. Do you understand this? Those are all of the 5 stages done correctly. So if I'm closing, I shouldn't be closing for this step. I shouldn't be closing for this step. I shouldn't be closing for this step. I shouldn't, depending on where I am in this process, I shouldn't be closing for this step. You see, here's the deal. There's like 5 pieces in this one step. In the first step of prospecting, there's like 5 steps. So my close should be for each step as I'm going through it. Do you understand that? Always be closing isn't about trying to get the money. Always be closing is about trying to have your prospect understand completely and feel value and excited to take the next step, then the next step, then the next step. How much is this going to cost? That's in the presentation. We're not ready for that yet, all right? We're not ready for that yet. So we've got to have a rebuttal that recircles them back around this. That's a great question. This program actually isn't designed to cost you money. In your case, Teresa, maybe this is what happened last time. If you spoke with somebody, they gave you an opportunity to do this and you chose not to, maybe because you were a little bit skeptical, a little scared. It sounds like you're skeptical. That first, oh my God, I got somebody. I get it. Listen, it's totally fine. It's not mandatory you do this. If you're happy where you are, totally cool. This is designed to help you go rock your life and go improve the quality of whatever it is you're doing. If I can show you how to do that, man, come on. Is that something you really want to do? Yes, it is. Always be closing. All right, my friends. Do you understand? Do you see the psychology? Do you see how you're a problem solver? It's all simple math. It's all basic math. If I can help you do this, is this worth Y? If I can show you how to do X minus Y, like the good stuff minus the bad stuff, is that equals Z? X minus Y equals Z. Is that what it is? Would that work for you? When you learn how to master this level of closing, this level of promotion, this level of getting people involved in your next steps in your business, is what you essentially do is you put yourself in a position where you're able to start working with folks on a more regular basis that are actually genuinely interested in what it is you want to offer. And here's the best part. You're not sounding like some cheesy salesperson. You're not sounding like some schmarmy, hey, if I got a deal for you, if I can show you how to blah, blah, blah. I don't want to do that, and I don't want to sound like that, and I don't think you do either. So with that said, you do want leads though, right, people? You do want more leads for your business, yes? All right, so I'm running a program right now where it's a 2-week crash course that shows you and introduces you how to get leads for your business like this, like I've been discussing today. So if you're interested in that, how many of you would be interested? Comment below, let me know. We're running a promotion on that. You do have to be manually interviewed because I don't know if it works for your specific business. Let me know you're interested in that. We'll have a personal conversation. You will actually talk to me because this is a new program we're building out and we're working with folks, and it fits any budget to get it done. It's very affordable. In fact, this is normally, a $2,000 or $3,000 crash course we're cramming into a 2-week time frame. And it's a boot camp. We call it a boot camp for generating leads. My friends, I appreciate you. If you got some value out of this, share, tag folks that need this kind of salesmanship, this training in their businesses and in their lives, especially if you're team members of yours. If you're watching this on YouTube, watch my latest video that we just posted and subscribe here and comment below and let me know so we can have that conversation with you guys. I appreciate you. All the best. Power to the people. And what's the answer? ABC. Always Mind control. That's how it works. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.